welcome to our first YouTube day. We're filming out of the Unbound studio in Southern California in Orange County. I'm here with two of the coolest, hippest acupuncture naturopathic doctors in the area. Isn't that right? Yeah. Okay. So I'm with Tina Young and Suzanne Tang. And Suzanne is a naturopathic doctor and acupuncturist, right? And Tina, you are a fourth generation Chinese medicine practitioner, and you also do a lot of energy work. You primarily focus on women and fertility, and you're both of you women in general, like women's health. And a lot of people that come to you have, a lot of women are career-focused women with burnout, stress, fatigue, adrenal burnout. I know that's a common one. And also this feeling of kind of unfulfillment in their lives. So before we get started, can you give everyone an intro to kind of what Chinese medicine and naturopathic medicine is at just a very high level, if they had no idea?
Okay, sure. Chinese medicine incorporates acupuncture, acupressure, Chinese herbal medicine, and meditation, qigong. So it's a very comprehensive medical system that treats the root cause of an issue or a condition as well as the branch. So we're not just treating the symptoms, but also kind of the core root cause of a condition. So we can apply acupuncture to help stimulate the nervous system to release certain neurochemicals that help to relax patients, increase endorphin levels, decrease cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone. And acupressure is great for self-care, so we definitely like to send patients home with tools to allow them to continue the care between our treatments. And then Chinese herbal medicine has been around for over 5,000 years, and I cannot tell you, every day I practice Chinese medicine, I'm amazed at how well it works, what it can treat. So anywhere from allergies to boosting your immune system to fertility to menopause. There's so many digestive issues. There's so many things that we can cover with Chinese medicine. So as alternatives to pharmaceuticals.
Is there any difference between what you practice, Suzanne, and what Tina does in terms of naturopathic and?
Yeah, so naturopathic medicine really has a similar philosophy about treating the root and treating the whole person. Our tools are a little bit different. So the tools we use would be, we heavily focus on dietary and lifestyle counseling and nutrition. So we'll use more nutrients, to help with patients with supporting their immune system, with balancing their hormones. We also use Western herbs instead of Chinese herbs, but again, it's very similar. So Western herbs have therapeutic effects, such as calming the nervous system, helping to improve brain chemicals such as serotonin and GABA, which is great for reducing anxiety and depression. Yes, and I also prescribe bioidentical hormones for patients. So primarily, a lot of my patients come in with hormonal imbalance. They have premenstrual syndrome. They are going into a new phase of life where they're getting hot and sweaty. They can't sleep. They can't think. So we call this, the bridge to shifting into menopause. But you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer.
Support the transition.
We support the transition, and we really want to help patients elevate their wellness by being able to, live their life and function fully. So,
and when you talk about holistic wellness, I know some of the stuff that you'll prescribe may be meditation.
Absolutely.
Right? Tell us a little bit about why you would prescribe that.
Yes, so I love meditation. Personally, I feel that I went through my own journey of having tremendous amounts of stress, having hormonal imbalance, having adrenal burnout and fatigue, and thyroid issues. I'm so thankful that I went through this journey because it allowed me to really embark on my wellness journey. So one of the pieces was meditation. We both have an amazing spiritual mentor that really
we all have in common.
She'll be part of the YouTube channel. Lori DeJulian. And so she taught us how to meditate. She taught us how to connect with our spirit. And we did a lot of spiritual reflection to really release unwanted or fear. It's not unwanted because it's there for a reason. Fear, anxiety, worry, limiting beliefs that really kept us from growing. So, and this is what we offer to our patients. I do a lot of counseling with my patients about how to not just help their lifestyle improve, but also how to help their themselves connect with their spirit.
Can you tell us a little bit about why that's so important? So obviously you're doing acupuncture, acupressure, there's herbs involved, there's something. Why is kind of a spiritual component, meditation, why is that important?
Well, I feel like for our patients and for us too, it allows you to reconnect with self, and it allows you to stay in the present moment. Because in our world that we live in, it's very busy. And so it's very easy to fall into the patterns of busyness. And so it's interesting because even when people come in for acupuncture treatments, they say it's the best forced relaxation.
It is, right? You can fall asleep on the table.
Right, right. And because really you have pins in you, so you can't really move. But it also, I think meditation is very similar in that it clears your mind and it allows you to just be.
And why is that important?
It's important because I think it allows you to reconnect with your higher self and really just allow yourself to rejuvenate and rest and find peace again, which is a preventative way to, well, it helps to prevent burnout, right?
Right, and your body can actually start to heal itself. And I know you guys talk a little bit about being just the facilitators of healing, that all healing is self-healing. What do you mean by that? Can you talk a little bit about that for people? And because if people thought they could heal themselves, they would just do it, right?
Right. So we all have this amazing ability to heal, right? But the problem is that most people aren't able to really access that on their own, because they're so confused by the information out there. There's so much noise and busyness and stress. So what we do is we create a very tranquil, peaceful place to come, right? Because oftentimes I'll find patients when they're laying on the table with their acupuncture, I say, is this the first time you've stopped today? Yes, I love this because I'm so busy. I'm always needed and I'm always busy. So, it allows them to just really stop and really, really embrace and have permission to stop and look at themselves and say, what do I really want for myself? How do I want to take this healing journey? And it allows them to have the conversation about, well, what do I need to eat to help myself feel healthy? What can I remove from my life, from my diet that is really causing me to stay stuck in the state of fatigue or burnout or irritability or just this like suboptimal place, So we really hold space for healing and provide hope. This is what I'm really excited about, is like I'm excited about inspiring people. We are both excited about inspiring people to access their healing ability and to release their fear and take the journey. And that is okay, we're all here together. We all want to get well together. So here we are providing you with tools. And you just take the journey and we'll be there with you.
Yeah, I love that. That's so
beautiful. I think it's a community, but also kind of a safe haven. A place that you can go and be completely surrendered, and open to receive, and open to receive from yourself too. And because a lot of people, I think they feel like they need to be in control, of every aspect of their life. But, when you come into a space of complete meditation, like a theta state, you completely surrender and you give up the ego and you give up, the attachments and the voice, the different messages that you replay in your mind. So
which can prevent the healing, right?
Absolutely.
And keep you very, very stuck. I know
very
that for myself as well. All of us, we've been there. So I know we're trying to really provide accessible content for people. So I know you guys have great advice for things, and one of the things that I really love is a lot of your patients have trouble sleeping, and it's because they're go, they're busy, they're addicted to their technology. So can you tell us kind of like what is a good sleep hygiene? I know that's what you call it, right?
Yes.
Like what would you recommend at the end of every day if you want to have a good night of sleep? What does that look like?
Do you want to start?
I would love to start. I really believe that it begins with how you start your day. Really how you start your day really affect how you sleep at night. So I often encourage my patients to start their morning with a meditation. Oftentimes we wake up, we look at our phones, check our emails,
Facebook.
And so you're on this, this kind of frenetic energy. So what I encourage my patients is just to stop, take a moment, and meditate, and then have a morning ritual. Have your tea, sit down, have breakfast. High in protein, preferably, lots of whole foods. And then really, moment by moment, go into your day with awareness. Awareness to stay in your center, to stay in your place of peace, and really be able to, cultivate the energy to do what you do best, right? So oftentimes what happens is patients will kind of get stuck in I'm going from one thing to the next. So I encourage my patients to take breaks, take a lunch break, maybe meditate again, provide yourself with more nutrients, and then as you get into the rest of the day when you come home, I encourage my patients to turn off technology, TV screens, any kind of light, because that blue light, which screens emit, actually affects melatonin. What it does, it decreases melatonin. Melatonin is essential for helping you with getting deep sleep. You also want to avoid any kind of stimulants like chocolate or caffeine or sugar.
For how long?
Well, I usually tell my patients, hey, it's in your system for 12 hours. So if you, I encourage patients to try to go to bed, at a reasonable hour, maybe by 9, 10 p.m. And so 2 p.m., I usually encourage my patients to cut off. And
You're generous. I say 10 a.m.
You say 10 a.m.?
I sure do.
Yeah, 2 p.m. for
Caffeine.
Yeah, and that's correct, because if it is in your system for 12 hours, you do want to cut off at 10 a.m. But if you want to have a little piece of dark chocolate around 2 p.m., that's okay too, right? And then I encourage my patients to do something that is a form of self-care for themselves. Take a warm bath, do some stretching, do some yoga, read a book that's a self-help book or something that's really nourishing. And then, make sure you turn off all the lights, right? Turn off all the technology, the stimulation.
So how
meditate.
long should you have your technology off before? Because most people we're watching our iPads in bed or...
Yeah, so here's the thing about providing patients with support is that you have to be realistic. I really try to work with patients and understand, look, I have certain recommendations, but where can I meet you at? So what I found is if I encourage my patients to turn off an hour, 2 hours before bed, they're willing to do that. And it's a struggle because they're attached to their,
so true.
This is what people do oftentimes is I need some downtime. So I'm going to go on my on my devices to watch a show, or I have so much work to do, let me finish up. So this is more like I need to catch up so I can relax. So Tina actually has a great recommendation in terms of journaling.
Yeah, so I tell, I do this for myself too. We all have this running task list in our brain usually, and sometimes we think about it right before we go to bed, and it could prevent us from falling asleep, or it may wake us up in the middle of the night thinking about it again. So I call it the data download. So do your daily data download and keep a journal by your bed on your nightstand and just write down all the things, any thoughts, anything that's still lingering in your mind, so that you can just release it and know that when you wake up in the morning, it's there, so you can reference it.
And you don't need to worry about it while you're sleeping.
Exactly. But going back to starting your day, and this is a conversation we've had in the past too, I love starting my day with my gratitude list. And so I keep a gratitude journal and just write maybe 3 to 5 things that I'm grateful for, or things that I love in my life and that I'm so, thankful for. So that's a great way to set the tone for the day and set your intentions.
And your mind, they say, if you're anxious, write down the things that you're grateful for, because that just switches everything, or it shifts you entirely. So for someone that's looking and is curious about naturopathic or Chinese medicine, what would you tell them? Who should come to you and who shouldn't come to you?
That's a very good question. I think who should come to us should be anyone that is ready to make a change, ready to embark in some type of shift or healing. And we welcome everybody, really. And I think the folks that maybe it's not a good fit for, or maybe the folks that are not ready to make the change.
They're not ready to make a change.
And they
because it's not just a treatment, right? They're going to have to change some of their lifestyle, delve a little bit deeper.
Exactly.
Change the way they eat, change the way they, kind of operate in their life. Because oftentimes it's the way people live their lives that is creating a blockage. It's really begins with their thought. It's like, I must, perform, I must achieve, I must be busy, I must give all the time. And so what we really encourage our patients to do is really honor yourself, and know that you're just as important as everybody else on that list. So I encourage patients, schedule time for you. Schedule time for exercise, schedule time for meditation, schedule time to eat healthy. And so our patients, really need to be ready to take the journey to love themselves and care for themselves. And you know what? I do understand it can be scary to make all these lifestyle changes. So I ask my patients, hey, you know what? I've given you a list of recommendations. Pick one or two things. And a lot of people are afraid to fail.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what?
True.
It's okay if you make a mistake or if you
fall off
the wagon. You get right back on top. You get back on top of the next day. So I do think that's a major block for patients. It's like, I have to make this entire lifestyle change.
Perfect.
And I'm going to have to be perfect, and it's going to be done overnight. No, it is. It took you a lifetime to get to this place.
Right.
It's going to take time.
It's a practice. I know we talk about that in meditation. Even if you do 2 minutes one day, 5 minutes, it all builds up, and you don't have to get it brilliantly, right?
Absolutely.
Like some days you're going to crash and burn with your nutrition and not do any of your diet. Thanks, guys. This has been so helpful. So I think that there's a lot on, sleep hygiene, starting your day, the idea of self-care. I think even going beyond that it's beyond just a treatment. It's like your lifestyle to feeling good. So closing out, we'd love, what is your top self-care tip or top 3 that you have or that you would recommend for other people?
Good question. So I feel like this is kind of like a self-care session, which is so fun. And one of the things that I recommend for patients is the use of essential oils prior to going to bed. And everybody knows lavender. Lavender is used for anxiety, stress, and insomnia.
Yeah.
There's other essential oils out there like blue tansy and bergamot that are also very good.
Bergamot's fabulous.
Bergamot's amazing to help you stay focused and centered. But I do have patients apply it to certain acupuncture points or acupressure points.
Where are those?
So one of them is here. It's called yin tong, or the third eye. This is very, very good for sleep and stress reduction.
Sleep and stress reduction, yeah.
Right, just between your eyebrows. And then the other one is pericardium 6, which is about 2 thumb breaths above your wrist crease in between these 2 tendons. So if you make a fist, you can see the 2 tendons kind of.
So you do it in there?
Yes, and this is the same point that's used for like C-bands, for example, for nausea.
Okay.
So I just have patients put a little drop and just apply it to those areas. You can do the third eye or yin tong, and then the heart chakra.
Heart chakra here.
And it's a good way to start your meditation as well. Take several deep breaths, and lavender is just beautiful. So it just really helps you feel, you just release
I feel
everything.
calm already just talking about this.
So that's one of my favorite tips to share for patients is it's like a little treat for yourself before you go to bed.
Yeah, it sounds like a treat. Suzanne, what's your top self-care tip?
My top self-care tip is, for me personally, I found that exercise, physical movement, and spiritual exercise is so key. So I generally encourage my patients who are, like, I don't know if I'm ready for exercise, is to just move your body.
Yeah.
Dance, stretch,
yoga.
Even yoga, go for a walk, move your body, because we have so much stagnant, stuck energy in our bodies. And exercise helps to naturally increase our endorphins and our serotonin, which will help with energy, but also help with calming our nervous system.
So it helps with anxiety, depression, all of the things that people are struggling with, fatigue.
Yes, and studies have found that moderate to rigorous exercise actually works just as effectively for moderate depression head-to-head against some antidepressants. So for me, I felt like that was key, and I love.
And how much? How often?
How often? I ask my patients to really start slow. Hey, start with once a week, and then or do 10 minutes a day. But I find that patients are willing to work with, okay, I can do maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a yoga session, and then I'll go for a couple walks. Perfect. Start there, and then build up. The other is spiritual and mental exercise. So I encourage my patients to have awareness of their thoughts, where the thought's coming from. And really, if the thought is negative or the thought is, has anything to do with shame or guilt, switch that thought and come from a place of love for yourself. And that takes a lot of practice to really find the love within you. And meditate, do the journaling work. You don't have to be sitting on a mountaintop. Yeah. You can meditate by just being mindful.
Yeah.
Like looking at the trees, smelling the flowers, being present with your loved one, your friends, your community. I work on being present at work because I find that when I'm present with my patients, it helps them to access the presence within them. And then
sure.
one of my favorite things is magnesium. Magnesium is a great nutrient that helps with the nervous system.
Yes.
Do you take magnesium?
Yes, because of you.
You're a great patient. I love it. And it's, absolutely. So magnesium really helps to calm the nervous system, helps to release GABA, which is a neurotransmitter to help with calming the nervous system. And you can take an Epsom salt bath with magnesium salts. That's basically magnesium salts. That's a great way to
add a little bit of
end the
lavender.
day.
Yeah, lavender and Epsom salts in the bath. I love that. I feel like it just
Absolutely.
lets go of everything.
Yes, and you can get magnesium through green leafy vegetables, so that's another way to do it. And for some patients, they prefer to take a supplement. So you can take magnesium citrate before bedtime. I encourage patients to start with 150 milligrams. And just be careful because it can cause loose stools if you take too much. That's why 150 is a good place to begin.
That's great. I mean, that's very actionable stuff going on there. So then before we close out, do you have a top book that you would recommend that people read if they're beginning? And then where do people find you?
Okay, wow. It's a top book. You got something
I
off the top
have
of
a
your
book. This book was, can I tell you a little bit of the story about this book?
Okay.
So several years ago, I have a dear patient who's still my patient who gave me a book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay.
Yes.
And
Fundamental.
it is such a fundamental 101 book on how to really look at your thoughts and be empowered to change your thoughts and change your life and how your body is talking to you. I really encourage my patients to embrace their body and say, hey, you may be feeling tired, you may be feeling like you have pain, but your body is letting you know it's time to heal. So that was an incredible book. So the story is, my patient gave me this book, I put it on my shelf. For many years. I was busy starting a practice, having babies, busy. And one day I looked at my bookshelf and the book was staring at me. Open me. So I opened the book, I did the work, and there's journaling involved. I got the second book, and I have to say I am so grateful for this book because it really shifted my life. I have so many other books, but that's a really good beginner's book.
Yes, I love that book too.
Yes, and for me, and The Secret is probably one of the most popular books out there, but I still feel like it's such a go-to book because it is a book that talks about the law of attraction and attracting the things that you want into your life, not just about health, but also professionally and relationships and love. And so I think it's a very good starter book for a lot of people that are trying to practice intention setting. So I would have to say, just like you, I've had The Secret. I mean, I had it before I read it for years, probably in a bag, hidden in a closet. And I decided I'm going to just listen to the auditory version because I'm in the car a lot. And it's not the same because, you're driving and traffic and, you're distracted. And so I actually finally read the book and I thought, gosh, this is a very basic book, but basic, easy to follow, but the concepts are very easy to apply to your day-to-day life. So if someone's looking for somewhere to start, I think The Secret is a great book.
Both great books.
Yes, and where you can find us is on coastalacupuncturectr.com.
CTR.com.
CTR.com, so coastalacupuncturecenter.com. And so that's our website. You can find all kinds of information. We also have lists of conditions and some more treatment recommendations that are a great way to kind of see, is this something for me,
And you guys are going to be doing, you're venturing into social media land, right?
Yes, we're launching our new company, which is called Awakened Health. And our plan is to launch our e-commerce store, which will be a collection of our Chinese herbal formulas that we've designed and created for various conditions. A lot of it is women's health, but also, allergies and immune support.
Cool.
Stress reduction.
Stress reduction as well. And also our e-education modules will be there as well.
Online courses coming from these fabulous ladies.
We really want naturopathic medicine and Chinese medicine to be accessible to not just our local community, but to the global community, and really help inspire people to feel like, hey, I can do this. I can get started with changing my diet. I can get started with changing my thoughts. I'm ready. So this allows people to kind of get their foot in the door and see if it's something they're interested in. Right. So we'll provide online educational courses on how to, reduce fatigue, how to improve sleep, how to, balance the hormones. And then we also have one-on-one, retreat workshops. So our Lighten Up weight loss and wellness retreat will be held at Unbound Collective on June 3rd and 4th.
We're
here. It's
we're really excited about it.
And really it's a collective collective collaboration of healers, wellness practitioners, including Candace.
I'll be there too.
Amazing group of women.
Yeah.
Amazing group.
Amazing group of women who will teach us how to meditate, do yoga, eat healthy, how to really empower yourself.
How to nourish yourself, really.
Nourish yourself, yes,
Yes.
absolutely. What we wanted to encourage patients, it's not just about physical weight, it's about the emotional weight and it's how you can release that in your life, right? So yes, we really are excited about being able to serve our community.
Well, everyone look out for that. And if you were scared about going to a Chinese medicine or naturopathic doctor, you can see that they're not that scary at all. And we have go out and get those books, check out their websites. Thanks guys for coming on.
Thank
Always
you
a
so much
pleasure.
for having
Welcome.
us.
Thank you.